Attitude. Great job. Thank you so much. Bill, you look at the ascension of the Milwaukee Bucks. Are they the model on how to build a contender as a small market team, do you think?
I don't think that, because their motto is basically they drafted a 6'9" guy from Greece who fell out of the lottery, and then he grew 3 inches and became an MVP and was amazing, and I don't think that's replicable.
And it's not like he fell into their lap, but, there is an element of that. They couldn't possibly have guessed he'd be what he is.
No, you have to get lucky.
Yeah.
And whether you're getting lucky at the top of the draft or like what Golden State got Steph Curry 7th.
Right.
You have to get lucky with somebody. And this is why the Celtics during this decade, they took all these swings at high lottery picks. Philly did too, hoping you get lucky with somebody. Philly got lucky with Embiid. Unclear if the Celtics got lucky with anybody, and Milwaukee got the luckiest.
Let's take a look at our starters for Portland. The high-powered backcourt pair, Lillard and McCollum. Anthony out there with Whiteside, and it's Hood in at the 3 spot. And for the Bucks, Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Then there's Bledsoe, then it's Matthews, and it's DiVincenzo in at the shooting guard. Here's Antetokounmpo, lays it up and banks it in. Antetokounmpo's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for Milwaukee. Lillard, the pass to Whiteside. McCollum outside. Off target from outside. So for the Trailblazers, their last game, a loss to the Pelicans in New Orleans. DiVincenzo gets the bucket.
Attacking in transition, the most consistent way to generate easy looks.
Yeah, you can tell they love to get out and run when the opportunity is there.
Now here's McCollum. He's coming off a 22-point game against the Pelicans in New Orleans.
And what opened things up for him was his passing. He was making so many plays that the D had to play offense.
With his ability to accelerate, defenders have to be careful against Lillard. It's either give him the 3 or risk the blow-by.
Here's DiVincenzo. Good, and the assist goes to Giannis. DiVincenzo's got his second bucket.
And their post play has been really solid right off the bat.
Hood finds McCollum. Back to Hood. And Giannis earning another All-NBA nod, Bill. He'll be eligible to sign the biggest contract in NBA history this coming summer.
I thought you had the biggest contract in NBA history.
After you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm confused. Well, what's funny about this is they could have signed him to the max a few years ago, and there was this rule that you could only have one guy on your team could have a 5-year max, and they were saving it for Jabari Parker.
Right.
So they signed him for 4 years, $100 million, a little bit of a discount. Now he's going to make them pay. And
in a big way.
If I was Giannis, I would be very spiteful about the fact that they cared about Jabari more than me, and I would want to sign with the Celtics. But that's just me.
That was a different GM, though, at the time.
Listen, it doesn't matter who it was.
Right.
They didn't treat you right, Giannis. You should leave.
The Bucks have gone 3 of 5 shooting the ball so far. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line.
You know, we always talk about what a rare talent Giannis is, and it's true. Unrivaled athleticism and versatility.
And he's got his first free throw of the game.
And the free throw line was a problem spot for him in their last game. Really struggled up there.
Free throw good. Giannis. Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. The Bucks, they won their last contest, that game against the Hawks in Atlanta. Lillard attacking. It's good. This game is all even. Lillard's got his 3rd bucket of the night. Lillard's gone 3 for 4 from the floor tonight. The pass to DiVincenzo. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in, No good from Bledsoe.
I tell you what, the spin move did more than just confuse the D. Looked like he's a little woozy on that off-balance attempt.
What a surge it's been for the Bucks at the top of the Eastern Conference last year. 60 wins, the most since 1981.
Right, and much like those teams from the 80s, they fell short in the end.
Again.
And that's been the rub with the Bucks is, as you look back at so many years in a row, so close, couldn't do it. And then this last year against Toronto, they win the first two. Game 3's double OT. And then all of a sudden, a week later, their season's over. So they've never quite been able to get over the hump since the days of Lou Alcindor.
The nice thing is, though, this team is making the mandatory steps, it seems, that all these teams eventually have to make to get to where they want to go.
Right. They're trying to keep the team together that they succeeded with last year. Sometimes when you have success, you think that you should keep that success together, and that can be dangerous because really I felt like that team underachieved. They lost to a Toronto team that they had just performed better than during the season. So what's that last piece that you need? And I guess the last piece for Milwaukee now is, can Giannis be the closer? We haven't seen it yet.
Now Matthews, after the missed three from Damian Lillard. Antetokounmpo kicks to Bledsoe. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line. It's his first trip to the line.
And something I remember from their last game was how good he was at the line.
The first one falls. Labissiere is checked in for Whiteside. That one is no good.
Listen, there's no doubt he feels like they should have the lead, but that miss will keep it all tied up.
Passes it to Labissiere. Matthews against Lillard. The shot, no good. Good D by Matthews. Here's DiVincenzo. The lead pass was put in just the right spot. DiVincenzo's got 6.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
Anthony trying to get open. Good D by Matthews. And so Giannis will bring it up for the Bucks. It's stolen by Anthony. And here we go. High arcing shot. Hood can't get it to go. Milwaukee in the lead. Bill was in Boston where you received your master's degree in journalism. What attracted you to this profession? Why journalism?
I couldn't do anything else, and I didn't like manual labor.
Oh, really?
No, that really was it. I was good at writing.
Like anybody in your family or anybody you
No,
idolize?
I was always a good writer, and I liked writing and sports.
Yeah.
So just kind of like, I'll do those two things
Did
together.
it in high school, I'm assuming? Right?
Yeah, started in high school. I had the big thing for me was in college. I had a column for the school newspaper, really from freshman year on. And around sophomore year, I felt like it started to get momentum. And that was the first time I thought, I wonder if I can get paid for this.
Right.
Which, as it turned out, no, until I was about 29.
Yeah. The three from McCollum. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got 3 assists in the game. For Milwaukee, they've gone 6 of 10 from the field in this ballgame. Giannis against Anthony. Count it. That's 7 points for Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, the ball handling and body control for a guy that's Giannis's height, it's really impressive.
Lillard dishes to McCollum. And the foul on Eric Bledsoe. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Just a little too amped up here early. 2 fouls on him already. That's going to affect his playing time.
Hill, he's checked in for Milwaukee. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Bazemore's checked in. It's stolen by Hill. And now the fast break. Matthews with the ball. And foul on the shot. So he'll get a chance at the line. It's on Damian Lillard. The Bucks shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And the first one drops. A different look for Milwaukee. Robin Lopez is checked in for Lopez. And it's Pat Connaughton in for Eric Bledsoe. Little, he's checked in for Portland. And Fernie Simons comes in for Lillard. Both free throws good from Matthews. Trailblazers trail by 5. With the length of the Bucks, Bill, the shooting, the capacity to push the tempo, this is a frighteningly good team to try to defend.
It is, unless it's the 3rd round of the playoffs. Then they become super easy to defend because everybody's afraid to take a jump shot. Yeah, they play with pace. They spread the floor for Giannis, and they're really good at running everything through him while everybody else around him is somebody that complements him.
Right coach? Was it the right coach, you think, at the right time for where these were?
Yeah, it was the right coach for about 92 games last year, and then it kind of flipped a little bit. I think, the big thing for them is who can be their second shot creator when the other team takes out Giannis. And you find that out there in the playoffs. Take out Giannis, who's creating a shot?
Left? Yes.
Nobody could do that in the Toronto series last year, and that's what killed them.
And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
When a pick like that is questionable and creates that much of an advantage for the offense, you have to blow the whistle.
Yeah, you can't blame the ref for making that call at all. The defense in general is already at such a disadvantage as it is.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Ilyasova comes in for Antetokounmpo. And it's Korver in for Wesley Matthews. Simons drills the three-pointer. Bucks have gone 8 of 12 on field goal attempts so far. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And let's check out a breakdown. Looking at some stats for Lillard.
And guys, it hasn't been pretty for him in the past 5 games. He's having one of those scoring slumps that all players go through at some point in the season. But I know he hadn't lost his confidence, and I expect this young man to get after it here tonight.
Free throw drops for Hill.
And guys, I love George Hill's game. He's a smart defender who can score the ball, pass. He's a winner.
Both free throws good from Hill. Trailblazers trail by 4. Bill, do you ever think we're going to eliminate conferences in the NBA playoff seeding?
I think that they would have done a 16-seed no-conference playoff format years ago. I think they're really worried about the travel, though. And they've looked at it, and they've really studied it, and they've looked at the effects of, let's say Boston plays Portland in round 1, and you're flying 3,100 miles or 3,200 miles in 3 time zones and all that stuff, and it's a 2-2-1-1-1 series. What is the effect on the team if it goes 7? I think they're really afraid of it. I wish they did it. I don't like the conferences. I don't really understand them. And over the course of NBA history, they've been really confused by the conferences. I wrote about this in the book of basketball, where we had years where San Antonio was playing in the East for a while, and Baltimore was in the West. Which, go look at a map. Baltimore being in the West is ridiculous. Baltimore was in the West and Philly was in the East, and they're like 50 miles away from each other.
Yeah, made no sense.
So they've never really 100% figured out the conferences. And I just think the 1 through 16 makes more sense.
It would sure be better basketball.
It would be better.
Yeah. Bucks leading by 3. Pass to Connaughton. Here is Ilyasova. The Bucks working the ball around. And it's Lopez. That time on the assist by Korver.
Well, Lopez is a strong big man. He excels at absorbing contact and then finishing over the defense.
Knocked loose. Pass to Labissiere. Top the key, Bazemore. Dishes to Little. A 3-ball. And Kent Bazemore with the 3.
He's not focused on the D on most possessions, but you can forget about him altogether.
Hill passes to Ilyasova. Here's Connaughton. He's covered by Bazemore. Drops in the tray.
And an eye for an eye. Both teams working to stretch the floor.
Well, these days, so much emphasis on the perimeter game, but you can see why after that sequence.
Now here's Little. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. And here's Korver from the arc. That one, no good. Now the Trailblazers take it the other way. They're getting their first look of the season at the Bucks in this one.
It's not often we get to see this matchup, but it is a doozy when we do. Just two powerhouse teams facing off.
I mean, who knows? If you want to look all the way ahead to the finals, it's possible these teams could see each other there. So both teams looking to make a statement in their first meeting of the season.
They'll name a couple past superstars that didn't always get enough credit for being as dominant as they were.
Moses Malone would be my #1 pick. Probably the best player in the league for 5 years. Dominant in '83, they won the title in Philly. Really gave Kareem a lot of problems and was just awesome and has now just been swept under the rug. Nobody even really remembers. So I would go with him first.
Ever.
Never. Well, it was part of the problem. They were tape delaying games back then, and we didn't have league pass. We didn't have a lot of that stuff. I think he was really underrated, and you kind of never know who's going to endure and who's not going to endure, which is one of the reasons I wrote my book.
Here's Connaughton. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Trailblazers will take it. Here we are in November, and let's see how things are going out east in the early season. Taking a look at Milwaukee. They hold the first place spot in the conference just right where they want to be. They've got momentum.
And I think for the Bucks,
They had a few critics coming into the season, and now I don't think they have any. This is a club ready to not only make a deep run, but possibly win it all.
Oh, come on, GA. You know that's the mindset you have to have. They know if they can get to the playoffs, they have the talent to do some real damage.
And now let's highlight the highest scoring teams in the NBA. The Bucks second.
And how about the year they've had offensively? This is a team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Always fun to watch them play.
And here's Hill, who will bring it up for Milwaukee. 4-point game. He kicks it to Ilyasova. There's Brown with the three. He's off on that one.
And Kevin, they need to be consistent with their effort on the boards. You look at the box score, and they're at a definite disadvantage.
And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Ilyasova. Lasagna, the pass to Bazemore. This year kicks to Little. And the pass to Bazemore. No good with the triple.
Even for a player who's not a three-point specialist, I mean, that's a shot you got to knock down.
54 seconds left in the first quarter of the game. Hill deciding where to go with it. Clock at 4. From deep three-point range, and Labissiere sends it back. Lasagna, the pass to Simons. Now here's Little. He's covered by Brown. Little can't hit. Bucks leading by 4. About 3 seconds between shot and game clock. It's Hill on the wing. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 9.5 points a game. Lopez kicks to Hill. over Little. Hits despite the tough D. And the Bucks lead by 6.
Good defense, better offense by George Hill.
Oh, and he drills it! He drills it!
Oh, can you say range? Can you say range?
Yeah.
We'll get right back to the action when we return. The leadership mantle, something that Damian Lillard welcomes. He talked about what that means to him.
A lot of responsibility. When things go bad, people are going to look to you first. They're going to point the finger at you first. And when things go well, they're going to give you the credit. So I think it's just a balance of those two things, being willing to be that guy and being excited about it. I think you got to have fun with it.
Right on the money as always. Lillard has excelled in that leadership role.
Yeah, he plays with so much confidence and composure, but also it's the way he includes his teammates and gets to know them as individuals that makes him a franchise player.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And look what we've seen from Milwaukee. What do you think, guys?
Well, you can see these guys are unafraid to take chances defensively.
Yeah, it's a gambling style that pays off, GA, keeping things in disarray for that offense.
On the court right now for the Trailblazers, Hazonia at the 4 and Whiteside at the 5. Then there's Kent Bazemore. Then it's Little. And it's Simons in at the point. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, Chris Middleton was a first-time All-Star in 2019. Now, we all know that Middleton is one of the league's best shooters, but he had to adjust his game to a new system under coach Mike Budenholzer. Middleton said, "I guess that's what being an All-Star is, a team player and a complete player. Not playing for stats, playing for nothing else but to win." Kevin?
First-time All-Star and well-deserved. David, thank you. And that one misses. Bill defenders are doing a better job of challenging the shooter from the side so they don't foul and don't step into that landing space when he comes down from shooting.
Yeah, I don't like the landing space. And all that stuff. Like,
well, what would you call
load management? We have all these phrases now. It's like, how did these phrases come in my life?
Load management is interesting.
Load management's the worst. Where did that start?
I don't know.
Can we just play basketball?
Just like work, yeah. Just to get fit, just rest.
What's the thing they call when the guy travels, but they say it's not? It's like he's gathering the ball. That's another one.
Gathering the ball.
Never said gathering the ball in my life until 2 years ago. Enough with the weird phrases.
Yeah. Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Lopez, he's checked in for Lopez. Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Kyle Korver. Damian Lillard's checked in for the Trailblazers. Now here's Bledsoe. He's coming off a 28-point game against Atlanta.
And so many of his points came at the line. The D was trying to play him physically. And he just said, yeah, bring it on.
Good on that shot. And with that, the Bucks' lead is cut down now to just 2 on the basket from Little. The Bucks have gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Hill finds Lopez. Fires the 3. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got 3 assists tonight.
How about dueling from long range, just going at each other?
Well, it's a matter of pride and a matter of each side trying to seize control of this game right now.
Now here's Bazemore. He's got 10. Here's Lillard. Hazonia trying to free himself up. It's good for his 4th bucket of the night. He's shooting 4 of 8.
Well, the D has got to do a better job clogging up routes to the rim. Lillard is a terror when it comes to driving inside.
Bazemore against Hill. Back to Bledsoe. And it's blocked by Whiteside. And we're now a little over 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And some nice ball movement here by the Trailblazers. Here's Bazemore, and he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. That one on Hill. The Trailblazers have gone 2 for 3 at the foul line in this game.
You've got to appreciate their ability to make free throws, 81% as a team.
And that one misses. A different look for Milwaukee. Giannis comes in for Ilyasova. And Wesley Matthews subbed in for George Hill. Portland also making some changes. Anthony's checked in for Hazanya. And it's C.J. McCollum in for Little. And the second free throw, good. Here is Bledsoe. He has been a nice option for them offensively, and he's averaging more than 17 points a game. And for those of you just joining us in the second quarter with about 3 minutes gone by, and that's out of bounds. Milwaukee will retain possession. The Trailblazers making a switch here. Hood's checked in. Here's Lopez. Milwaukee, no good that time either. Portland trailing here. And Lillard kicks to McCollum. And no good, had a chance to take the lead there.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
Bledsoe passes to Lopez. Yes, that goes in. Lopez has got 5 points in the quarter.
The main area of expertise for Lopez, I mean, he's excellent at finding ways to cash in from there.
Hood, the pass to McCollum. Drains it from beyond the arc.
And that gets him going here in the second after hitting 2 from long range in that first.
Giannis with it. He had a 33-point outing in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And not only that, I mean, if you think about it, he dominated the boards. His energy was incredible. He never stopped working.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
Yeah, Greg, that's just great defense, forcing his man into a difficult attempt.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Lillard. That doesn't go in. Had a chance, though, to take the lead. Looking at Portland, they want to turn it around after the loss to New Orleans.
Yeah, on the road, you're already a little out of your element. Then the misses from the line become contagious.
And then it starts to become a mental block. You start to think, oh, man, I can't miss the next one.
Trailblazers trail by 3. Cullen passes to Whiteside. Now here's Lillard. 9 points in the game so far. Lopez with the block.
And you got to appreciate the limp Lopez has. He's effective at using it to stifle shooting.
Bledsoe right side. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Shoots over Lillard. And a little luck that time, but it drops. 9 points for Giannis.
And when he rises up, he knows he's probably going to get a clean look. It's a matter of executing.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be nice to have that combination of height and skill. You know you can get your shot off pretty much against anyone.
Now here's Anthony. He's coming off a 10-point game against New Orleans. Just 4 to shoot. Here's Hood, and it's sent back by Lopez. Brown outside. Kicks to Bledsoe. Pass to Antetokounmpo. From outside the arc. It's hauled in by the Trailblazers. Whiteside's got his 6th rebound on the night.
Got to give him credit for his confidence. I mean, he hasn't hit a single shot this quarter, but he still keeps firing.
Now here's McCollum. 11 points in the game. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Yeah, easy call.
The Trailblazers shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. Free throw, good, Whiteside. The Bucks making a switch here. Connaughton's checked in. both free throws good from Whiteside. And here's Giannis. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. 3-point lead. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. And that's game 2 of this string of 4 games played at home. And he's able to get it back. And the basket by Lillard.
Oh, the awareness on display. Hood just isn't a good scorer. He's also skilled at getting it to his open teammates.
Bledsoe dishes to Giannis. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. Well, we've got a moment here. Let's see the league leaders in rebounding, the real stats, the real scores from the real NBA. Second, Giannis Antetokounmpo.
And you can't win games without rebounding the basketball. That's what has made him such an important part of what they do.
First free throw is good. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Portland's gone 2 of 4 from 3-point range so far in the second quarter. Oh, that's blocked. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. And so here's Portland. Trailing by 2. Lillard from outside. Good for his 6th make and a dozen attempts, shooting 50% with that basket.
Oh, he's got a role in this quarter, taking it on himself to guide their offense.
Nice ball movement by Milwaukee. Pass to Antetokounmpo. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's going to be on Rodney Hood.
Nice work to get it inside and draw the contact.
For Milwaukee, they have gone 7 of 11 from the line.
And they've been mediocre all season long, just about 72% from the line.
The first free throw is good. Dante DiVincenzo. He's checked in for Wesley Matthews. He doesn't get the second one. Portland's gone 3 of 5 beyond the arc since the start of the second quarter. Here's Anthony. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. The Trailblazers have had 7 opportunities at the free throw line and made good on 5 of them. No good on the free throw. And he's good on the second. The Bucks trail. Bledsoe passes to Lopez. Antetokounmpo against Anthony. The pass to Bledsoe. Off target with his three.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
And Lillard kicks to Whiteside. They get a hand on it. Anthony in the corner. Gets to the corner and buries it. And the Trailblazers lead by 3.
Well, that'll get you a pat on the back from your teammate McCollum. Unselfish and aware, picking out the perfect pass.
Here's Giannis. And Giannis throws it down.
I mean, he's just been brilliant today, guys, and it was the same exact story last time out.
So timeout called here, the first for Portland. Lopez, he's checked in for the Bucks. Korver comes in for Eric Bledsoe. And the Trailblazers making a change here as well. Labissiere's checked in for Whiteside. Anthony dishes to Labissiere. McCollum outside. Fires for 3. Rebound, Milwaukee.
And the rebound battle split evenly thus far.
And the dunk by Giannis.
Way ahead of the field. He can do pretty much whatever he wants.
Yeah, and defensively, you'd like to see a greater effort to change ends.
Now here's Lillard. 14 points for him. There's the dish to McCollum. From 11 feet away, here's Labissiere. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. Here's a look now what's coming up for the Milwaukee Bucks. On Saturday, they'll be playing against Blake Griffin and the Detroit Pistons. And then on Monday, they'll be matching up against Mike Conley and the Utah Jazz.
And with the way they've been able to march right along in this season lately, I think they should be able to keep things going in this next stretch. Just come out with the same energy and discipline, and you should have some wins.
He misses the free throw.
And Labissiere screams potential, a gigantic player who plays both ends of the floor well.
Simons, he's checked in for the Trailblazers. Good on the second free throw. And so Antetokounmpo will bring it up for the Bucks. Passes it to DiVincenzo. Shoots. The offensive rebound. Here's Antetokounmpo. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. That one's on Anthony. For Milwaukee, they have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line. First one falls for him.
And he's been much more aggressive here in the second quarter. He's getting to the line a lot more than he did in the first.
And both free throws good for Giannis. Here's McCollum. He's got 11. Pass to Anthony. Pass to Simons. Back to Anthony. 5 to shoot. That one no good. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. Here's Connaughton. Good. And it's Giannis picking up the assist. Giannis has got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Here's Simons. Last game we saw him score 13. Right wing. Labissiere finds Hood. And the rebound goes to Lopez.
Well, I'm surprised he's still out there. I mean, he's been invisible at the offensive end all game long.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And Corver, a team-first guy. When one of his guys is open, he wastes no time in delivering the pass.
Now here's McCollum. And we know he can score. He's averaging around 21.5 points a game. From the baseline. And that one goes long.
The defense has done a good job of forcing him in tough shots this quarter.
Now the pass to DiVincenzo. Here's Connaughton. He feeds it to Giannis. Passes to DiVincenzo. No good. And it's Portland the other way. And entertaining as always. Bill, thank you so much for stopping by. We always appreciate your time.
Thank you. Just, I don't want to do any Celtic games. Can we not do that? I don't want to see that team. Let's do the other teams.
Okay. And GA, what a pleasure talking with Bill about this game. He brings that super fan perspective.
From a young child watching games at the Garden, and you sense he's never lost that wonder and enthusiasm.
Trailblazers trail by 5. Simons, the pass to Anthony. And that one, good. Anthony's got 5.
And Kevin, they started the game shooting it so well. I'm surprised they haven't continued. They've got to get back to their strength.
Here's Antetokounmpo, shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws. And what a year last season for Giannis Antetokounmpo. He was terrific across, Greg, all stat categories.
And he was rightfully in the MVP conversation very early on. He's still very young, and I see multiple MVP seasons in his future.
That's good from Antetokounmpo.
And after the Blazers got swept in the first round in 2018, many said they needed to blow it up. Instead, they stayed with it. 52 wins, a 3 seed in the West.
Yeah, they just had the patience to keep building, adding pieces, and developing. I mean, this team is going in the right direction.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for Milwaukee. Hill comes in for Dante DiVincenzo. Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Trailblazers trail by 5. We've got 33 seconds left now here in the second. Puts up a 3. Rebounded by the Bucks. Giannis has got double-digit rebounds now in the game. Here's Connaughton, and that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. This is his first chance at the line tonight. And he knocks down the first one. Both good from the line that time. We've got 22 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Simons. He's guarded by Hill. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And this is his second trip to the line in the game.
You know, this is not an area where they expect him to contribute. You know, he's a guy that shot below 70% last season.
That free throw good from Anthony. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2. And here's Giannis from outside. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Giannis has got 26 points.
And obviously his momentum from the last game has carried over here tonight.
Yeah, that's why he's hot. He's playing with a lot of confidence. That's why they're going to him with such consistency.
Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for Milwaukee. He's up to 26 points in the game now. All right, thank you, David. And folks, don't go away. After the break, we'll see you right back here for the start.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Okay.
A tremendous game we're seeing from Giannis Antetokounmpo. He ended up with 26 points, 4 assists, and 10 rebounds. Multiple times we saw the bench cheering him on in the first 2 quarters of this one. Shaq, let's get your take on Milwaukee.
Ernie, do not take this the wrong way, but the freak got freaky as usual. Can rise above anyone, gets whatever shot he wants, plus he's a tremendous team leader, both through words and action.
Kenny, let's get your insight on Portland.
Their defensive fundamentals have been atrocious. I mean, you see guys reaching instead of moving their feet. They're not getting out the shooters. They've dug themselves a hole, and the only way to get out of it is all 5 guys start defending the way they should.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books, 1 half to go. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
Well, with a double-double in hand through 2 quarters, you can just imagine what his stat line will look like at the end of this one.
Yeah, it could be one of those epic games, but we still have a long way to go.
Third quarter action getting rolling right now, brought to you by Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's who's on the floor. Setting the floor for the Bucks. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Then it's Matthews, then there's Bledsoe, and it's DiVincenzo in at the 2-guard position. The wide open look here for Lopez, and again Milwaukee with the triple.
Maybe he's not a priority for the D, but come on, man. Gotta have somebody keeping track of him.
Now here's McCollum. He's tightly guarded, and he makes the bucket, gets the whistle, and now a 3-point play chance here for him.
And McCollum uses his wily strength to sink these shots. Even when you rough him up, he finds a way to score. Oh, man, a star at a mid-major. Shout out to all the mid-major colleges. Lehigh University, C.J. McCollum wasn't that blue-chip prospect, but he sure worked his way to the top.
Four-year player at Lehigh, McCollum earned his degree in journalism.
Yeah, he had to beg his parents to switch from a business major, but now he's putting his degree to use. He already interviewed the commissioner. Man, keep playing. He's trying to come for my job, Kevin. When his playing days are done, though, I'm sure he'll be looking to try to take my job and yours and continue on that path. How's that for a start? Good on all 3 attempts so far in the second half.
Outside Matthews. Back to Giannis. Bucks passing it around. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And Damian Lillard throws it down hard.
It's easy to forget about Lillard's hops. I mean, this guy has some sick dunks up his sleeve.
And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. Chris, when it comes to playing alongside another big guy, I'm sure you have to think of ways to complement each other. Not just him, but it's got to be a two-way street.
Yeah, but it starts with chemistry. It starts with friendship. It starts with wanting to win. And I've played with two big guys that come to mind that made me better. Juwan Howard there in Washington, just looking at him, throwing a oop. I would miss 2-3 shots in a row, and we'd look, and he'd say, I'll get you an easy one, big fella. And I would do the same thing to him. We're playing with a guy like Vlade that would say, hey, wait a minute, Bibby or Peja didn't get a shot. Set a screen for them, and he would pass it to them. And then the next play say, now it's your turn. You're open, because they're going to go over there to those guys. We already tricked the defense ahead. So guys that are smart, guys that could pass, and also guys that'll say, hey, man, you look a little tired. Let's switch. I'll check Shaq this play.
Both free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Third quarter here, over a minute and a half into it. Outside Hood. Matthews with the steal. Here's Giannis. And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
Well, they weren't going to pass up that chance to get out and run following the steal.
And so it's McCollum. He'll bring it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. 7-point differential. Our next game is in Cleveland, taking on the Cavaliers. And that will be the 5th game of this 6-game road trip. Got a piece of it. Stolen by McCollum. And oh, here we go. Lillard's got it. The fast break chance. Antetokounmpo pulls it in. Antetokounmpo's got rebound number 12 here already in the game.
Let's take a look at the numbers for Lopez. How last month turned out for him. Averaging about 11 points, almost 2.5 blocks, and 5 rebounds. And he's such a presence for them inside.
No questions. He blocks shots, controls the glass, does everything asked of him and more.
That free throw, no good. He hits the second from the line. Trailblazers trail by 8. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Here's Lillard, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Lillard's got 4 points in the quarter.
What more can you say about Lillard's gritty demeanor on the court? I guess contact doesn't bother.
Bounce pass on Antetokounmpo. He was all alone on that one. And the Bucks lead by 9.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Now a timeout called by Portland.
Well, it's been an express lane to the rim. Coach can't be happy about that.
Poor rotations. I mean, slow help and just not enough toughness on the interior. They've got a lot to talk about.
With a break in the action, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a look at this season's stingiest defensive teams. In the third spot, the Bucks.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
And with that, the Bucks lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from Hassan Whiteside.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Outside Matthews. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. Bledsoe's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight.
They made the most of their halftime adjustments. They're shooting 80% so far in the second half.
Takes the turnaround Jay. Lillard with the bucket. Lillard's got 20 points.
All night long, Lillard has been taking over on the offensive end. I mean, adjusting to every defense they've thrown at him.
Here's Bledsoe, and Whiteside sends it back. Here's Lillard, and 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Wesley Matthews picks one up.
One of the game's elite scorers and closers, Damian Lillard. With the game on the line, you know what time it is. It's dang time.
And the first one at the line is good. Chris, you talk about degree of difficult. Damian Lillard takes and makes some incredibly tough shots.
Oh, Kevin, the percentages don't do him justice. I mean, off the dribble, contested, from deep. Lillard is always a threat.
Sterling Brown is checked in for Dante DiVincenzo. All free throws good from Lillard.
Oh, not many players with the more steady hand at the free throw line than this fella.
Bucks leading by 6. Antetokounmpo kicks to Bledsoe. Lopez outside. Floats it up for Giannis. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Oh, and the lead gets bigger on a ridiculous offensive sequence.
That dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop. The shot by Lillard wide open. That falls. Nice feed that time from McCollum. McCollum's got 3 assists in the game. And so it's Bledsoe with it, bringing it up for the Milwaukee Bucks. They've led by as much as 10. Lopez dishes to Bledsoe. Brown outside. Trying to get open is Lopez. And another 3 for Milwaukee.
Yeah, how about the percentage they're shooting from beyond the arc here in the second half?
Lillard with it. Eric Bledsoe covering. Put on the wing. Brown against Anthony. 6 on the shot clock. Again, the Trailblazers good for 2.
And Melo's jumper is pure. You feel like it's going in every time he gets a clean look at the rim.
And the dunk by Giannis.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. Back to Lillard. Anthony down low. Brown's there. The shot by Anthony, no good. Milwaukee leading by 8. Brown feeling it out a bit. Pass to Antetokounmpo. Shoots a fader. Rebound by Anthony. Anthony's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. Hood, the pass to Whiteside. Out to Hood. Outside Anthony. McCollum against Brown. Shoots the 3. McCollum, no good. Milwaukee's gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here.
I mean, I don't always like the 3 on the fast break, but the D was set up well inside.
Trailblazers trail by 11. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Now, you don't see that very often. A wide open 3 is usually like a layup for him.
No good from Bledsoe.
And what a struggle it has been yet to convert a single shot from the field.
One of the top 10 shooting guards in the NBA, C.J. McCollum. I mean, you wonder, though, would he be even better lined up as a point guard? I'm not sure. But his defense has been his shortcoming. At 6'3", his size is better suited for the 1.
And he makes the first. See, Webb, you think about McCollum as a point guard. His assists have dropped 3 seasons running.
Yeah, Kevin, but that's because his role on this team is to score. I mean, he's so skilled. He can get other guys involved, but you want him putting it in the bucket. Who's a better option than him besides Dame Lillard? On another team, though, with the chance to start at point guard, I wouldn't mind seeing that adjustment.
And good on the second, so he makes them both. Chris, are there specific types of plays where you feel the whistle gets blown maybe a little too often and a little too early?
Well, sometimes for a guard, when he's defending the guard and the pick and roll comes and he fights through that pick, and as a guard, offensive player, I can stop and let you bump into me and shoot the ball. I think the refs just have to be smart with it. Sometimes it's a foul, but every time it's not, just because of the situation or the flop. And also, you just don't want players to be bailed out when the defender is in a good position. But that's what makes the game so great, is the fact that as an offensive player, you got to try to manipulate and find out where you can sneak yourself in the gray areas of the rules. And as a defensive player, how can you use your skill, your will, and then your IQ not to get caught with your hand in the cookie jar?
And he knocks down the first one.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots. Here's Hill. He's got 6. Pass to Lopez. Outside Korver. No good from outside. Trailblazers trail by 9. Here's Bazemore. And the call on the shot that sends him to the line. That one on Hill. First free throw is good.
And 6 straight playoff appearances for the Blazers under Terry Stotts. Last season making the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah, GA, and he was rewarded with a multi-year contract extension. He's done a great job developing their young players while also having them compete at a high level.
And so Bazemore nails both of them. Bucks leading by 7. Here's Connaughton. He's got 8. He kicks it to Korver. Just 5 on the clock. There's the pass to Lopez. Over Hezonja. Lopez, no luck. Trailblazers trail by 7. Bazemore, no one around him. And it's off from three-point range. Outside Hill. He dishes it to Lopez. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Well, even though his name was swirling in trade rumors at the trade deadline last year, Robert Lopez stayed focused. I mean, just a very dependable center who shows up every night to do the job.
First free throw is good. And for Lopez, his defense and wherewithal on the court are a huge boost.
Yeah, Lopez isn't going to be a main key to a team at this point in his career, but he will be valuable off the bench as a backup center who can play starter-level defense and hold down the fort.
Lopez hits them both.
Lopez. Now, this guy, he's a reliable role player, a stiff defender, and an intelligent shooter as well.
Here's Simons. He has 5. Little. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Little's got his second basket of the night.
I like that pick play. I mean, you can see how easily it makes it for him to get to the cup.
Now Hill. He's got 6. The 3. He can't get that one to fall. And it's Portland the other way. Here's Simons. And that one is hammered home.
That should give them a nice little jolt.
Yeah, it has to. They need a jolt, GA.
Hey, guys, you think he was sending a message on that one? He doesn't like losing.
To the inside. And it's Hezonja with the foul. That's his 5th foul.
That's number 5 on him. No room for error anymore. I bet they'll take it at him right now. Try to get him out the game.
Now here's Ilyasova. T right on him. 6 to shoot. Passes it to Connaughton. Lets it go with a 3. Good. The assist goes to Hill. Hill's got his 4th assist in this one.
And the playmaking from Hill, he just gives them what they need.
McCollum outside. Goes up the baseline. It's hauled in by Ilyasova. Bucks leading by 8. Hill passes to Connaughton. Inside. Here's Lopez. Back to Connaughton. Doubled by McCollum. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And so here's Portland. And Simons has got the ball here for the Trailblazers. McCollum outside. And it's blocked. Here's Connaughton. Hezonja defending. Connaughton kicks to Hill. 1:10 left to play in the 3rd.
Well, George Hill, the veteran guard, doesn't produce at the volume he once did. Still, he brings a lot of value to a team.
Free throw drops for Hill. And for Hill, Greg, he's a great veteran leader who brings value to a playoff-bound team.
You know, Hill has a game that is effective even when he's not scoring. His leadership and defense will make him a welcome addition to any roster, even as his numbers fade.
Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Milwaukee.
And one difference this have is that when they get to the line, they're converting.
Simons, the pass to Whiteside. Now Hezonja. And it's sent back by Lopez.
And Lopez is out there to set the tone defensively. I mean, he's a wily, strong defender who sends shots back with authority.
.55 seconds left to play in the 3rd. Hezonja's shot is off. Bucks leading by 10. Hill inside. Over Whiteside. And Whiteside sends it back. And he gets it back. Portland's gone into a slump here from three-point range, shooting just 1 of 5 here in the third. And the bucket is good. Three-point play chance here for him.
And guys, I like what they're doing here in the second half, getting a lot of production in the paint and still trailing, but starting to show some grit down low.
Six-second difference between the shot and game clock. Connaughton passes to Lopez. Outside Hill. Lets it go. DiVincenzo can't hit it.
And if you ask me what percentage of the time he's making that shot, my answer would be in the single digits.
Yeah, that's not his spot. Plain and simple. Just trying to force something is rarely a good idea.
Bazemore for three. No good. And so it's Milwaukee bringing the quarter to a close with a 7-point lead. And they've done a phenomenal job down low, so many of their points coming right at the rim. And we'll be back with you shortly. Head coach Mike Budenholzer is mic'd up along the sideline. Let's check it out.
Do it again for this quarter, 0-0. Same effort, same mentality. Keep pushing it, keep moving the ball, keep cutting.
Well, Mike likes how they're working the ball right now.
And, you know, Coach highlighted it's a brand new quarter. They need to play with the same fire.
And this is it. Glad to have you along for this fourth and final quarter. On the court for the Trailblazers, we've got Little. He's out there with Kent Bazemore. Whiteside is out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Simons in at the 2 spot. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. And looking at the numbers for Whiteside the last few years, Greg, it seems like his production has come back down a bit.
And for a minute, Whiteside looked like he could be a dominant center, but he struggled since his great 2017 season. Shot selection has been hurting, and sometimes it feels like he is in his own way as a player.
That one is off.
And it's been talked about for some time, but last summer the Heat finally decided to pull the trigger on Hassan Whiteside. Traded to Portland for Leonard and Harkless. Whiteside and the Heat had soured on each other in the trade, a chance for both sides to have a fresh start.
So we can't get either to fall.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
And the first one drops. Good on both.
And that puts them right around 90 from the free throw line. Really good work here in the second half.
And stolen by Ilyasova. Now here's Hill, the fast break opportunity, and he uses the glass on the layup. And the Bucks lead by 11.
And Hill, very comfortable in the open floor. He can go.
Lillard from outside, but they recover it. Simons surveying the D. Can't hit from 12.
For a player who's almost a sure thing to score in tight, that one's a stunner.
A different look for Milwaukee. Brook Lopez is checked in for Lopez, and it's Matthews in for Pat Connaughton. Hood's checked in for the Trailblazers. Just over a minute played here in the fourth. Wesley Matthews on the wing. And a miss there on the triple. Trailblazers trail by 11. In the corner, Bazemore with it. Lillard outside. Over Hill. Again, the miss by the Trailblazers. The Bucks have gone 1 of 3 from the field to start the fourth quarter. Here's DiVincenzo. The teardrop falls in. DiVincenzo's got 4 points in the quarter.
Oh, even from that range, the floater is one of the toughest shots in the game.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
Whiteside. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Milwaukee leading by 13. Whiteside Hill. Kicks it to Matthews. The tray. And it's Portland with the rebound. And it's Little finishing it off.
I like to see this Lillard patient reading the D. He finds the open man.
Outside Hill. Matthews left side. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Matthews has got the lead up to 13 now for the Bucks.
And the lack of effort to fight over the screen there makes that an easy shot.
We see this all too often. You have to be willing to put in the work.
And that one's good. Lillard
knocks down his second 3 of the half. I mean, he had 2 of them in the first half also, doing some solid work from deep.
Outside Matthews. Knocked away. And they're running. Here's Hood. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
First one falls for him.
The key for Hood is consistency. Now he's an established player. He has the tools needed to be a solid scorer in this league.
A different look for Milwaukee. Giannis Antetokounmpo comes in for Ilyasova. And Eric Bledsoe is subbed in for Hill. And a switch here also for Portland. Anthony's checked in for Little. Both free throws good from Hood.
Yeah, and the work they've done at the line has been impressive here in the second half.
Bledsoe dishes to Antetokounmpo. To the middle. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. They get Hassan Whiteside. And since coming to the Bucks, Eric Bledsoe hasn't been asked to do nearly as much as he has in the past.
And for Bledsoe, that is a good thing, as he is best as a complementary player. Not scoring as much, but his decision-making and shot selection have vastly improved.
And the first one at the line is good. No good on the second free throw. With the G League growing by leaps and bounds, one is now being brought to Mexico City, Chris.
I mean, first of all, let's go back to last season. Did you see how crazy those fans were in Jurassic Park in Toronto?
Yeah, they love it.
Can you imagine Mexico? Oh, my
They'll love
God.
it.
This
You
would be
better believe
great. Mexico City, yeah. Let's bring everyone in, all the fans in. And what I really love is that it's for the home fan base. So when I think of the Toronto Raptors, I think about the city of Toronto. I think about Canada and how it's theirs. And even though we're one league, that team is theirs, and they take that pride on, and it just brings so much more excitement. Can you imagine all the people in Mexico City being excited for their team? Oh, I want to be at one of the first games when that happens because I know the crowd is going to be sick. It's going to be crazy. I want to be there.
Pass to Lillard. To the paint. Right side, no good.
He doesn't get the finish, but the D's got to be quicker to rotate and stop him from getting to the rim.
And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for one.
I tell you what, it's almost like stealing to watch how he plays the game from this seat.
Free throw good. Giannis. And here's Lillard. He brings it up for the Portland Trail Blazers. They trail by 9 points. And Bazemore kicks to Lillard. Good D by Bledsoe. The Bucks have gone 4 of 8 in this fourth quarter, shooting an even 50% from the field. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Bazemore. Antetokounmpo finds Bledsoe. Here's DiVincenzo. Good, and Bledsoe gets the assist. DiVincenzo's got 10 points in just the second half.
Oh, wow, such a smooth shooter from distance. They'll be tighter up on him next time, I bet.
Poked away. And it's out of bounds. The Trailblazers able to retain possession here. Down low, here's Lillard, and he finishes nicely on the layup. Lillard's got 30.
Too bad his scoring hasn't been contagious. I mean, they'd be in much better shape if a few of their other guys could pick up some slack.
Here's Giannis. Great pass to set up the lay-in. And the Bucks lead by 12.
It's been a clinical performance. He's played a huge role and has them in position to grab the W.
Bazemore on the wing. Back to Lillard. Clock at 6. To the middle. Here's Whiteside. Good D by Lopez.
Nothing less than that kind of defense will cut it against them. That's just great work inside.
And they'll keep possession. Fast break. Here come the Trailblazers. Bazemore with it. He's picked up by Lopez. Count that one.
You gotta love his hustle, leaving the defense no time to react.
And how about then not settling? I mean, instead of being lazy with the shot selection, they go right to the rim.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
And those are the kinds of plays that are just killing them right now.
Now a timeout called by Portland. You look at Antetokounmpo really making a difference here.
Oh, yeah, no question what they'll be talking about in this timeout. They need to figure out some way to slow him down.
And keeping us updated from the sideline, let's swing it over to David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Terry Stotts talk to his team during that timeout. He is not happy with the sloppy play offensively. He said, make the easy play. Take care of the ball. We can't afford to just give away golden opportunities. And we'll see if they can clean it up, guys.
And love the muscle Anthony brings to the 3 spot. Takes pride in outworking everyone when he's that deep inside.
Out of bounds. Portland takes possession.
An easy pass turns into a terrible turnover. And that's a possession wasted.
Trailblazers trail by 10. Pass to Bazemore. Lillard with it. Eric Bledsoe covering. And there's Lillard on the assist by Bazemore. Bazemore's got his 5th assist in this one. The Bucks have gone 7 of 13 from the field here in the 4th. The pass to Giannis. Matthews with it. Fires from deep. Kept alive. Into Antetokounmpo. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
And good job bringing that free throw percentage up here in the second half. Doing a great job at the line.
Free throw good. Giannis. And both free throws good for Giannis.
And as a team, they're hovering around the high 80s from the free throw line. They've gotten better as the game has gone along, which is exactly what you want to see.
Anthony, the pass to Bazemore. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. Anthony's got 5 assists tonight.
Another bomb for him right now. His three-point shooting might be the key to cutting that lead.
Oh, Greg, the way he's firing from 3 today, they ought to keep riding.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Now here's Bazemore. He's covered closely. Lillard with the bucket.
And look at that, the touch of Lillard inside, so impressive. He's terrific at generating points.
Outside Matthews. Bucks passing it around. Here's DiVincenzo. He's covered by Bazemore. Antetokounmpo, no good. And so Hood will bring it up for the Portland Trailblazers. 7-point differential. Here's Bazemore. Bledsoe with the defensive effort. Milwaukee's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the 4th. Launches a 3. DiVincenzo gets the bucket. DiVincenzo's got a pair of 3s here in the 4th quarter for the Bucks. Bledsoe against Lillard. Passes it to Hood. Beyond the arc. Lillard misses. Bucks leading by 10. Matthews with it. Now guarded by Hood. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
Oh, phenomenal alley-oop slam there.
They are taking advantage of a team that looks lost out there. Anthony kicks to Whiteside. Fires it up. Anthony's shot is off. Milwaukee's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the 3rd quarter. Matthews passes to Giannis. And he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That one's on Anthony. Chris, we talk about perimeter scoring becoming more prevalent. The biggest shift coming from bigs shooting more threes.
Yeah, they are now counted upon to space the floor. And the better you can shoot, the better you can space the floor. And then more importantly, if you can knock down that three, you become a triple threat because now you can shoot there, maybe you can dribble and get by, or because of your height, you see different passing lanes and you can be a better passer, getting your teammates involved, and they like that spacing as well.
A.J. McCollum, he's checked in for Kent Bazemore. Free throws good from Antetokounmpo. Trailblazers trail by 14. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
McCollum dishes to Lillard. Right side, the pass to Hood. Shot clock at 6. Feeds to Lillard. The Trailblazers need to get off a shot. And the rejection by Giannis. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. Bucks leading by 14. Here's DiVincenzo. And here is Lopez. Giannis right side. Pulls it up. Tries again. Lopez, no luck. Trailblazers trail by 14 to end the run. And the rejection by Antetokounmpo. And they get it back.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
Excellent D, avoiding fouling and gotten the perfect position to alter the shot.
Lopez, no luck. Portland's gone 3 of 5 from beyond the arc since the final quarter's gotten underway. Poked loose. Lopez with the steal. Here's Giannis. And Antetokounmpo slams it in.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Bucks.
You know, it's tough to put your finger on the deciding factor in this one, but I'd say that the shooting accuracy made the difference.
Yeah, I think you're on point, Kevin. They got better looks, and that tends to lead to a better field goal percentage.
And it'll advance their win total up to 12 on the season.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for Giannis Antetokounmpo.
He was really important under the basket, making the plays down low and getting position to pull in rebounds.
Saw the opportunity to put this away and did not turn it down.
Oh, Greg, that's the dagger. You could tell they wanted that one. I know that seals the deal.
Bledsoe against Lillard. Bledsoe passes to Lopez. Shot from 12. And a great assist by Bledsoe as that one goes in.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
You know they are, sure. I mean, come on, the finish line is in sight. All they have to do is play it smart.
Just 2 seconds between shot clock and game clock. Here's McCollum. Lopez with the block. Bledsoe looking it over, so no problem for Milwaukee as they get the win. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not.
David, thank you as always. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.